Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I hate not being able to relate to people except for those on the internet.
Yeah.
It's just my home. I want to be where the people are.
So true.
These are my people. Hello, friends. Welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hey, when you're here, you're family.
Don't say that because I'm going to spend the next hour just craving those fucking breadsticks so bad.
Yeah, sponsor
I
us.
haven't had one in 5 years. Olive Garden, I swear to God. I would... Please. I would take... I will do almost anything, asterisk, if you send your gnocchi soup to my home.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Anyways, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hey.
We took a break that was very rejuvenating.
Yes.
It was not at all sponsored by Botched.
No, it's not. Yeah, or Nip Tuck. Or...
Right, exactly. You know what? Damn it. If we had
doctor.
really planned this out, I would have also gone under the knife. I should have gotten something done.
Just so we could have been in it together.
Right.
Yeah.
If we had really thought this out, I should have gotten something done. I don't have the money for this, but I would have also gotten a breast reduction.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up you didn't commit to the bit with me.
God damn it. I'm pissed. We need to go back in time.
Yeah. Restart.
I would have also, been in recovery right now, but the back pain I would have had right now would have been significant. God damn it. I'm pissed. I'm hungry now and I'm pissed. Fuck. Anyways, it was a very rejuvenating, relaxing week. We did nothing of importance.
No, nothing exciting or interesting happened.
Nope, definitely nothing of critical value of significant importance. We just, just chilling, just vibing.
Yeah, we just wanted a break. Is that a crime?
Yeah, it's
want a
just,
little week
we've
off.
been on our grind for 6 years. Just let us live. Goddamn. Anyways, I hope that you all had a great week off.
Yeah.
I hope that you did something interesting with your time, that you went and supported unions.
Slay, yeah.
This is not as much of a hyperbole as it usually is, but it's been a while. How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I am recording this from my bed on a very large set of pillows. I don't know how to describe these pillows, but you know what I'm talking about. They're like...
I do.
But the ones we literally talked about on this podcast.
Yeah,
so,
a couple months ago.
Yeah, so marketing worked. I was influenced.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. But I don't want to talk about any of that. Because
Great. Fuck it. Fuck those pillows.
I want to talk about Grimace.
Okay, I'm so glad that you brought this. I had no idea. It could have been 6 different things. And I was so scared. I was like, if I bring Grimace, I think Cody's gonna fucking throw me off the show. So I was glad that you're bringing the love of my life, Grimace.
I was literally so nervous. I had a backup just in case because I didn't want to open the Google Doc and you have a photo of Grimace in there.
Just
God damn it.
a photo the size of the full page, Grimace.
Yeah, just a full poster size Grimace. This guy is really fun. This is also gonna sound like an ad. It's not an ad. Fuck McDonald's. But
Listen, McDonald's has ads everywhere. Nobody is
right.
Nobody's wait a second, McDonald's. Nobody needs McDonald's has ads on the fucking Olympics. They don't need our fucking ad money.
Right. And also at this point, the meme has transcended the brand.
Exactly.
So if you have not been online this last week,
sure, valid.
You missed Grimace's birthday.
And you should be ashamed. He's sad that you missed his birthday.
Yeah, it was the party of the century, and he feels really upset at you, and he thought you were really friends, but I guess not.
He was looking at his phone all day. He waited until 11:59, and a sad
kept
little
refreshing.
purple tear came out of his eye because you didn't text him happy birthday.
It was fucked up. But fucking McDonald's did a good brand thing. And
Listen, shitty company, good branding.
right, good brand. In which they just handed the keys to all of the social media accounts to Grimace. And it's just delightful. There's so many photos. Like, they had all these, like, vintage, quote-unquote, photos of, like, a baby Grimace. And, like, for some reason, they make me so emotional. Like, I'm looking at a
100%.
child. Like, my own birth child. Like, it's like...
It's my son.
There's some sort of connection there that it's inescapable. I don't know how to describe it. But I am obsessed with this. It's very funny. Also, there's a shake, I guess, that goes with it, and it looks like...
That no
Just,
one
like,
could describe the
purple.
flavors of.
No one has been able to convincingly say what it tastes like, which is very scary to me.
At the end of this week, someone finally said that it may be blueberry and vanilla, but no one in stores could confirm what it was.
That's wild. And also through this, I was curious, right? I'm like, what is the history of Grimace? What's his deal? And he used to be called Evil Grimace.
I love him.
Like, that was his God-given name, Evil Grimace.
On his
And
birth
he had-
certificate.
Yeah, right. And he had 4 arms,
Now, hold on. Wait.
and he looked really scary.
All right, hold on.
And now he looks less scary, because they were like, this is for children, and this needs to be,
The
like...
dark truth behind
Good for-
Evil
yeah.
Grimace.
But, like, he used to, like, have all the arms to, like, carry all of his, like, shakes from McDonald's. Like, it was just, like, extra appendages.
Evil Grimace also liked to steal Coke?
Sure.
They don't say Coca-Cola, so now I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, now I got questions. Now I got more questions.
Oh no, this is so scary.
It's really scary, but now he's chill and cool and wears sunglasses and is awesome. And that's really important to me.
I hate four-armed Grimace.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be like an octopus?
I
I hate that.
You know, who can really say?
So here's the thing. The suggested questions under Evil Grimace are, why was Grimace scary? What was Grimace supposed to be? What is the meaning of Grimace McDonald's?
Yeah, these are all very valid questions, Google.
And there's no answer for any of them. Anyways, I love Grimace. I love him so much. And I'm going to forget that he had 4 arms at some point and was scary.
It's okay. He rebranded. He's chill now. He's really cool and fun at parties, and is just like a cool guy to hang around. And I'm happy that he has another year around the sun, you know? Anyway, how are you doing, my friend?
Well, prior to 5 minutes ago, I was doing fine. There were so many things that I almost brought this week. It was kind of hard to choose, which doesn't happen often. I'm going to be honest. In the past couple of years, it's been kind of like pulling teeth to find some good things. So I'm grateful for that. What I am bringing to the space this week is not just one, but the 2023 Variety Actors on Actors.
Fuck, yes.
Because this year in particular has been ridiculously well matched. And
Yeah.
I would just like to thank the team that did this year's matching for the Actors on Actors. I love watching Actors on Actors every year because the idea of watching artists talk about their craft is beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nerds being nerds. And I think
Sure.
that that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But specifically, this year has been just so many hot people talking to each other.
Yeah.
And when looking at the lineup, it was just like, oh, okay, we get this pairing. Oh, fuck, it's getting better. And just each time I was shocked.
Yeah.
So,
There's so many good.
if you
combos.
have not yet watched, and I think all of them are out now, the Variety playlist, here is my attempt to influence you to do so. You start off with my favorite bimbos, Jennifer Coolidge and Jeremy Allen White.
God, so I need them to kiss so bad.
I need them, just like platonically, I need them to smooch. Just to see like what would happen there.
Yeah. Just to see if there's a spark, you know what I mean?
Right. Just like what would happen, right?
Yeah. I got questions.
Right, exactly. Like we're all curious.
Yeah.
And then for just an aftertaste of Ellen Pompeo and Katherine Heigl.
That was so fucked up.
It's such a fucked up choice, but I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then
the
my
pairings behind this series make it feel like there's just like some like evil bisexual behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Just, like, trying to make everyone's lives worse in a great way, but just to like
the
really
two
ruin it.
The two that made me actually drop dead were Natasha Lyonne and Melanie Linsky.
Yeah.
I dropped dead when it was announced, and then the entire 30 minutes, I was gone. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I was dead. And then Theo James and Brett Goldstein.
God.
There is a significant amount of that actors on actors where they are talking about psychoanalysis and therapists.
Oh my God.
Hello? That one in particular, so I listened to Brett Goldstein's podcast. So to me it felt like a podcast, but to have Theo James on it, oh my God.
Yeah.
Criminal. The last one that I will point out, because all of these are good, the Jennifer Garner and Cheryl Ralph one made me cry, but I do want to point out the Pedro Pascal and Stephen Yeun one.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck me. I do want to caveat, if you do intend to watch this one, because it was very good, Stephen, I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
You misgendered Bella several times in that. And I got a fucking bone to pick with you for several things. Not just that, but also with Beef.
Right.
I got my
he's kind of been doing shit.
The other one, the last one that I will note, because all of these are great, was the Elizabeth Olsen and Megan Fahey one, because holy shit.
God. Yeah.
All of these are good. These aren't all of them. All of these are good. This is just a thank you to the team who not only had the dream pairings of these, but actually was able to schedule it and make it work. So thank you for this gift. I appreciate it immensely.
Yeah. Thank God.
How did you actually get all of these hot people in these rooms? I don't know, but I thank you for this gift. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we are incredibly appreciative.
Right, exactly. So we were gone for a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some people had the nerve to drop some news while we were gone.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up. They didn't ask us. The first piece of news that I have for you is, I think, first time on the show, Olivia Rodrigo. So welcome.
That is incorrect. That's fully incorrect. We had like a whole happy thing about Olivia Rodrigo. I guess the first time she's been a news item, perhaps?
First current event time on the show.
Welcome to the space, Miss Rodrigo.
Welcome to the space. Olivia's teasing new music, a new album. Mm-hmm. And her new single for this new album is coming back to her Twilight roots.
God.
This is not new that Olivia is a twihard. Back when she used to post like video clips of her singing, she made a song that was referenced to Bella and Edward. So this is not new. But last week, when you were listening to this, announced her new single that's releasing on the 30th, titled Vampire. This
Honestly,
cover
thank God.
art. Thank you. Also, and for you all listening, you're welcome. We did this.
Right.
I wanted... Welcome to this audio medium. I'm describing a visual to you. This is not new. In this side profile that we get of Olivia, it's black and white. And we see her neck. Stephenie Meyer would be proud. She has 2 crisscrossed Band-Aids. They are purple. It's the only thing in color in this. What is also of note, when she dropped this image on Instagram, Taylor Lautner commented and like in all caps said, okay, but who bit you though? So I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm interested.
Yeah,
We will provide updates when we know.
I love her. I missed her so much.
It makes me curious if Lionsgate will snatch her for soundtrack of the show.
Yeah, ooh. I'd be interested.
I would be interested too, but
I would like to see it.
I would also like to see it because we know that she can get like grungy punk, and we know that Steph has very specific music tastes for her work. But we will see. I pass the baton over to you for K-Stu News.
God. Pew, 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 pew. K-Stu Corner. Huge news.
Huge news.
Huge news.
Since we know that you've been waiting on the stoop for that ghost show.
Right, listen, it's not that. I'm sorry. It's just not that. But we're getting, perhaps, a stoner comedy from K-Stu and Dylan Meyer that, in her words, is, quote, really fucking stupid. So the movies are back. We're back, baby. This comes from, actually, I didn't even realize, originally an magazine interview between Rachel Sennott from upcoming movie Bottoms and other stuff, and K-Stu. While they're just kind of talking about being high, and right before this interview, K-Stu like microdosed an edible. I love it. It's incredible.
This almost makes up for not having the ghost show.
Yeah. I'm
hoping that the ghost show is just put on a shelf. It's not gone forever.
Right, yeah.
But I have questions, and I'm very excited. The idea of having a very unserious comedy that also involves the creative Dylan as well, I love. So I'm in it. I'm excited. Give me more details. And also, this is the 6th thing that K-Stu's working on right now?
Yeah.
She just can't stop.
I love her. There's also so many fun little bits in here that K-Stu devolves. There's one point where she just says, I fucking love texting. It's a lot of blue on my end, and you better fucking love it. It's like, who is she?
It's that Gemini moon. She just can't.
Yeah.
She can't stop. Her mind is just always going.
Yeah. At one point, Rachel Sennott says, I'm a Virgo, and K-Stu says, whoa, okay. The transcript of this is so, like, I am obsessed with this. They're just so, I love them.
Especially because it's a full transcript too, and not like a traditional interview. I love that so much.
Right. Also, crucially too, this interview is supposed to be like K-Stu asking Rachel Sennott about Bottoms, but she's like, hey, I tried to watch Bottoms and I tried 2 different apps and it wouldn't play. So like, can you just tell me what the movie's about? Which I think is excellent. So there's a lot of gems in here. I'm very excited for this.
Also, not relevant to K-Stu, but these photos of Rachel are beautiful.
Yeah, she looks great.
She's great. The idol can drown in the water for all I care. It's just how I feel.
Yeah,
I'm glad that
honestly.
I'm glad that it's bombing.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So anyways, when we get more updates, we will let you know, because I'm waiting on bated breath.
Yeah.
For both this single and this stoner comedy.
God.
Because it doesn't have to just be what I grew up with in the 2010s of men making stoner comedies.
Right.
So I'm very excited about this.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be a real fucking difficult for my brain to have to pull what we read, like what feels like 3 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Here's what I remember. Oy. Lissa did a Hunger Games.
Sure.
But it was the royal version of it. So she just had to basically chill in the woods for a little bit.
Right.
And then back in Rose's world, in Wayne's world, they turned Sonia back into she's not a Moroi, back into a not Strigoi.
Right.
And they were like, oh shit, she's struggling to be a human. So Dimitri's like, chill. We can't interrogate her now.
Yeah.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
That is what you missed on Glee. Chapter 19. We are in Alyssa's POV. And she's like coming back from the trial that she slayed. And realizes that like there's a bunch of people like obviously waiting to see like who made it, but there's also like half of the other candidates are also kind of like sussing out, because I guess they split it in two. So they're like trying to size them up, being like, I wonder who made it.
Right.
Which is fun. There's like a little paparazzi moment. Very cute. And she's just kind of still like in her head about being like, I get why I'm doing this, but it's also like, it doesn't feel like I'm helping as directly, similar to Rose, you know? So, and also,
everybody else has people waiting for them.
Right, yeah.
When they get out of the vans.
Right, yeah. There's like a bunch of people that like have their, family members like going through and collecting them, and Lissa's just kind of like by herself like, hey guys, does anyone want to hang out?
Notably, the thing that all of the people still in court, so like Lissa, Christian, Adrian, Rose's parents, Eddie, said was not going to happen. She would never be alone because there's still a murderer on the loose. And Lissa is alone at this time.
Yeah, so that's not
great.
I just don't love that.
So not good.
Yeah. Christian pops on in, which is great. We get a fun little bit where now that he's 18, he's like, it's supposed to be called Lord Ozera, which is very fun.
This was hot? Question mark?
Yeah. It kind of activated something. Yeah, because Christian's like, all right, let's, hey, stop staring, take a picture, it'll last longer, kind of vibe.
Oh my God.
Can we get a little help here?
I just miss him. I miss Christian so much.
God, he's so good. I love him.
Because so there's like this mob of people, which in the last time that we read, I've totally thought that it was like mob pitchforks. They were all pissed. But they're actually just like nosy. They want to see who won, who got kicked out.
Right.
And Lissa says that because the forest is only so big, like this challenge, I guess, they had to split up the nominees. So the other half of the nominees were also being nosy because they're going the next day.
Right.
So everyone just wanted to find out. They're not angry.
Yeah, so yeah, they're not like saying, like calling her a witch or something. Like,
right, exactly. They're nosy. It's valid. So everyone's there, and also there's a bunch of guardians from the court who are like, all right, chill, like let them move.
Right.
And so Christian was like, hey, can we get some help here?
Right.
Because Lissa is not just tired, but is still, like, her clothes are damp from being outside.
Right.
She's tired. It's been a day.
She was out playing Survivor all day. Like, that was,
Exactly.
that's tough, you know? It's tough.
Right. She's not used to the outdoors.
Yeah. Interestingly, too, once they get like pulled aside and they're not really being surrounded anymore, Christian's kind of trying to ask Lissa, like, how'd it go? Like, what did you do? How was it? Are you okay? And she, like, can't say anything. Like, there's a tiny, like, tattoo that's essentially a compulsion spell that kind of just, like, bars her from, like, spoiling any of the trials, and, like, compels her to not talk about it, which is
It's a dot
wild
on her skin to behave.
right, exactly, yeah.
It's a golden NDA on her skin.
Yeah, which is, like, a fun mechanic of compulsion I didn't even think about.
For sure.
Kind of sucks that it's, like, way late in the game here, but I do appreciate that's, like, a fun lore, like, implementation, I guess.
Lissa says that it's like the alchemists have. I haven't seen this with Sydney. Like, I haven't seen Sydney impacted by this golden NDA.
Right, yeah.
I'm wondering
maybe
if
that's something that's
is
explored more in, like, the sister series or whatever. 'Cause that's
right,
all
the
more
Sydney
about the alchemy.
series.
Yeah, the Sydney Sweeney.
But Lissa seemed surprised. She was like, damn, I was trying to break this, but it is pretty strong. That's interesting.
They got my ass. Damn. I thought I was the best at compulsion.
Right. Lissa's tired right now. And you know how, like, when you're tired, like, right before you go to bed or, like, at a sleepover, you start having these, like, galaxy brain thoughts? Christian's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And she's like, I just didn't realize that, like, this was such a big deal when you signed me up for it, not when I signed up for it. And, like, the people that are here watching this happen, they're, like, not all from here. They're, like, not Americans. They're from other places that aren't America. And, like, even though the court is in America, we rule places that aren't America. Like, everywhere. And Christian's
like... There's a lot of appeal here.
And Christian's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like, you need to go to bed. Like,
and he finally asked her, like, because she's taking this really seriously. He's like, girl, do you actually want it? Like, do you want to be queen? And Lissa's like, no, obviously not. No,
me?
Never.
That's... totally not. That's so not fun.
Her justification is like, no, like, I can't even drink yet.
Right,
okay,
it's
Lissa.
Like, Lissa, you're on record of drinking a lot, actually, in the past. That's not really the excuse you think it is. But
okay, Lissa.
Queen.
Just go to bed.
Yeah, it's like, all right, Grandma, go to bed. That's enough.
Right, exactly.
And Christian too also, like, points out that Tasha is, like, also pro Lissa legitimately being queen.
Of course she is. Tasha's down for the count.
Yeah, she's down for. Yeah, she commits to the bit harder than than anyone here. I do appreciate too that there's, like, a funny moment where Christian's, like, just calling her out for being, like, an activist, quote unquote, and being like, well, the thing about them is, like, there's so many issues. They're not really focused on one at the same time. And it's like, okay. Like, wow. Anti-organizer up in here. Interesting.
That part was so weird to me, too, because he says, Aunt Tasha. Christian, there's no one else named Tasha in this book.
We know.
And also in this world. Like, you don't have to say that. We know who it is.
Yeah, we've met her. Everyone, Lissa knows who she is.
Right. You don't have to be like, oh yeah, like my aunt, like, homie.
Right,
we know.
We got it.
It's like when books do that thing where siblings are like, oh, brother. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, this part where, so they're, like, cuddling or whatever, because he's like, you need to go the fuck to sleep. Christian made me really sad, because he was like, I spent most of my life in my, like, specifically most of my childhood hiding in a dusty attic, and I owned exactly one dress shirt right now. Do you think I really care about this t-shirt getting fucked up because you're dirty and damp from being outside? And I was like, oh, shit. I love him.
It's so good. And Lissa, seconds away from finally being able to go to sleep. So close. But not before being interrupted by Adrian. Fucking knocking
It's always
the door
the
down.
fucking spirit users interrupting each other's sleep. Why do they do this?
They're so annoying. He like knocks on the door. It's like, hey, miss me? Let's party. What's good? And they're like, fuck, what do you want? Like, he's like, I have a galaxy brain huge idea. I got a plan. We're gonna figure this shit out. Come with me right now. Let's go. Because apparently, he's got Blake, our good pal Blake. Welcome to the story, Blake. At a bar, chilling.
He just
And
can't let well enough alone.
Right, yeah. After all that, what's his face?
Ambrose said, it's not about Blake.
Right.
Don't worry about him. And Adrian
very
said,
specific.
bet. Okay, I'm going to go find Blake. That's what I got out of this conversation.
What I'm going to do is I'm not going to rest until I find Blake, and then we're going to interrogate him at a bar so early in the morning for us and be drunk for
God damn it, Adrian.
He's so unserious. And he's like,
Also,
listen, I just bought him another round. If we head out right now, we can still catch him. Let's go.
Also, apparently, he told Adrian, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. And he's been gone for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's the longest cigarette in the world.
Right. So, of course, they end up going.
Yeah, I hate this, like... I appreciate what they're doing, trying to save Rose. But this is very, B squad, right? Like... The first part of the plan was executed very well and very successfully, but as far as like interrogations or like trying to piece a puzzle together, I am not very confident in these these three people.
Yeah, these three royals in a trench coat are not great at this.
It's not giving. Yeah.
No. Here's what I'll say. This scene is a mess. It's not helpful, and frankly, Frero, I find that this was a waste of your time. What I appreciate about this and what made it worth reading is Blake continuously fucking up Christian's name.
Yeah.
That is
Crispin.
It's such a great bit, and I love
It's a good
it
gag.
so much.
Yeah. God, it's so funny.
It's like
everything would be so different if his name was Crispin. Can you just imagine?
Oh my god. So it's like 7 a.m. vampire time right now.
Right. Yeah.
This is the equivalent of like when you go for a really early morning flight in an airport and you're like, well, I have nothing else to do. Let me get wasted.
Right. Yeah.
But it's in... Lissa makes a note... No, Rose makes a note of this. This is a bar inside of an administrative building. What? Sorry.
I have questions.
How bad does your job have to be to have a bar inside of an like a speakeasy inside of an administrative building? Anyways.
Yeah.
So these three motherfuckers pull up to Blake, who's still there.
Right.
One of the only dudes that's still there. And he seems great. He seems very excited to see Lissa. But Christian is not happy to be here.
Well, yeah, because he's getting called Christopher, and
he's being called Rice Krispie the entire time.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. And also Adrian, I don't know if he was calmer prior to this, but he is not keeping cool at all.
No. And, like, Alyssa's kind of doing a fine job. Just because, essentially, they're trying to be like, hey... Obviously, Rose did it, right? But, like, some people say that maybe someone else did it. Maybe that you did it. What?
I saw it written on the bathroom stall that some people are saying Rose didn't do it.
Yeah. So they're trying to, like, keep their cool on that, but it feels so many layers of, like, separation that it feels kind of like, not very believable. But Blake does take the bait because he is being accused of murder, so that's definitely something, right? Like that kind of like obfuscates any sort of unbelievability of this.
Which is something they knew, because Ambrose said that Blake is a dunce. So they are trying to play off of that.
Right, yeah.
It seems it's not going well, but it's okay, even though Blake is not. He's calling Christian, Crispin, Christopher, anything, to the point that Christian is just like, all right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm fucking sick of this guy.
I have my hands clenched with fire underneath this table.
Yeah.
But then Blake drops a bombshell that I was not expecting, which is that he says Ambrose had other women, which we knew. We knew that because Ambrose said it himself, that he had other women he was with. They never said that, Ambrose never said that he and the Queen were exclusive. What Ambrose never said, and we don't know that this is true. Blake could just be fucking making this up. But he says Ambrose, one of the women he's with, is Adrian's mom, Daniela.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Adrian almost, like in a fucking Maury show, like reaches over the table and goes for Blake's throat.
Right, he's about to fucking sock him.
Right, because he has no cool at all.
Right. Yeah.
And Blake's like, oh, that's weird. You didn't know that? That's weird.
Right. I thought everyone...
You and your mom, like, don't talk about her sex life? That's weird. Why? Are you not that kind of... You're not open? You don't talk about sex? That's weird.
It's also so funny, too, because at one point, Adrian is, like, huffing and puffing and being like, that's fucked up. How dare you say that about my mom? Whatever, whatever. That's not true. Like, she's a good person. She's not a cheater. And then Blake responds with, I thought you didn't like your dad. Like, I don't see what the problem is. It's like...
Everyone you talk to, even strangers, you say, fuck my dad.
Right.
So...
It's like, so I don't see why...
So what's the truth?
About this. Right. Yeah, what's the fucking truth?
My favorite thing, too, that Blake says, he's like, and besides, don't get all pissy at me. I wasn't sleeping with her.
Right, like, I could have, but I didn't.
Right, exactly. Oh.
She was a loose woman.
God. Listen, Blake is a dunce, and he's a shitty guy, but he's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some bangers, for sure.
He's honest about who he is, and that's great.
Yeah, I'll love to see it.
Oh, God. So we find out who these other women that Ambrose is allegedly involved with. Because, again, Ambrose never said names. He's respectful about his clientele.
Yeah, and Blake does not give a fuck. He just drops that shit immediately with no pressing. It's like, oh yeah, there's Marta, there's Mirabelle, there's your mom.
It's a very, like, Mambo number 5. Like, he's just, like, listing this off.
Yeah. Right. And, yeah, these are my ladies.
Right, exactly. And Lissa is, like, going off in her... She's, like, trying to deduce this in her head. Like, some of these people are never in court. Right. So they wouldn't... It's not reasonable that they would be the murderers. So, Blake is like... So anyways, back to what I was saying. Rose obviously did this, right? Bummer, because she's, like, super hot, would bang, right? And at this point, Adrian is, like, purple, right? Because now, at this point, Blake has insulted his aunt, his mom, his girlfriend. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. But Christian is confused because he's like, it would make more sense, right? If Ambrose was the killer, why wouldn't he just kill you? Like, why would he go through the Queen? Right. Like, it's a felony to kill, but why would you kill a monarch? Right.
And this is why I'm not confident in this group of these investigators. Because it's like, you talked to both of these dudes. And that thought didn't cross your mind once. Until the end of the chat with the second dude. After outing all of these women for just having a nice, sexy time. They're minding their own business.
Doing it in a bar where there are theoretically, like, 2 other patrons, and a bartender.
Sure.
And you are not
Right.
being silent. So everyone can hear your
Yeah.
fucking business.
And both of these conversations were in very public places. Where there were,
Exactly.
like, other people around. There's no decorum. It's fucked up. And they didn't think once, it's like, hey, if they were fucking the queen, they probably wouldn't kill her. They probably wouldn't murder her.
Right.
Because they was actually a pretty good situation.
Yeah, this seems beneficial to everyone involved.
Right. I'm glad we got there. I'm glad we figured that out. But took a little bit longer than I was hoping for. I do love on the almost on the way out here the fucking other nickname for Chris. Sorry, as fuck. Now I'm gonna say Chris, but Christian is Kreskin, which is,
God damn it.
and they just keep getting more and more removed, which I think is really beautiful. It's a stunning sequence of events here.
I love it so much.
Rochelle, your
There's-
mind.
It's so good. What I love to think in my brain is that Ferrero's, like, parents couldn't say Christian or something. Like, this was, they were like, oh, I love your character, Kreskin. And that's what she used here or something. So there comes a point at the end of this where Adrian just, like, fucking storms out. Because he doesn't believe that his mom is involved. And Blake is, again, he's a dunce, but he's, like, why would he lie? He has no beef, theoretically, with Adrian, so he has no reason to lie. He's like, listen, I saw them. Like, they were all over each other. And he almost says, like, did I mention how hot your mom was? And Adrian almost, like, breaks the glass that he's holding, and he just, like, goes. He's just like, I can't fucking deal with this anymore. It's 8 a.m. Like, I'm out of here. And Blake's like, damn, he's been through a lot, huh?
Yeah, fuck.
Just no
Tough night.
remorse.
Yeah.
Listen, fucking, this dude's great. But then, obviously, Lissa and Christian have no other reason to be here now because they were just trying to back up Adrian. So
Right.
they got a blast.
Yeah. And also Lissa desperately needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, she's been up for so long. So, got a blast out of here. They finally seem to realize, walking out of here, that Blake is an asshole,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have enough motive to commit murder.
Right.
And he's also
Good
not
job,
smart
everyone.
enough to do it.
No.
Interesting. Wonder if we could have figured that out without doing this, Adrian.
I'm glad we got the greatest minds on the case right now.
Right. So they finally start to put this together, that there's love involved, there's sex involved, and there also seems to be some jealousy. Those are motives that typically point to a woman. Not always, but typically. So they start thinking, and Christian's like, do you think it could be Daniela?
Right.
And this is an interesting thought because now we know that they theoretically are sharing the same guy. And we know from earlier that she paid for fucking Adrian's alibi, which is sus.
Interesting.
And, like, she's high up, right? She has status. She didn't like Tatiana. So they had beef. But it's like, I don't know if it's enough, right? Because that's murder in the family.
Right.
But I'm definitely
That's extra.
curious about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, more than anything, Lissa needs to go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah. God. And at one point, Lissa's like, sleep or like sleep? And
Right,
Christian's like,
exactly.
sleep. You need to go to bed. Like, Lissa, please.
God. This is very typical to Rose, too. Because they get another interruption, but it's not forever. It's just Janine coming in and she's like, damn, so sorry about what happened before. I'm here to watch out. Please ignore me. Go to sleep.
I'm
You're
not
all good.
here. Just making sure you're alive.
Right,
Good.
exactly. Please. It looks like you're about to go to sleep. Great, good. I got you.
Yeah. And speaking of people who need sleep,
God damn, for real.
Chapter 20. Rose desperately needs sleep. Because again, she's not like she's
just
actively
resting her
conscious
eyes.
when she's right. Yeah, she's like resting her eyes, but she's like actively paying attention to like the brain space and the bond. So she's
Right.
not like sleeping. And Sydney's like, "Hey, I know you think you're sleeping, but you're not, and that's not the same as rest. So you should probably do that. And you look like shit. So can you just go to sleep, please?"
I love her.
And Rose's like, "I gotta keep watch." And Sydney's like, "I got it. Don't worry about it. There's not like an evil Strigoi trying to kill me anymore, so I think I'm good. It's okay."
I feel so bad for Sydney in this moment because Sydney's like, listen, I know that I don't have the same guardian training as you, but I am an alchemist. Like, I can kick ass. So
Right.
can you just sleep
I do
for a
have
second?
training. Yeah, like I'm good. And if you go to sleep now, you can relieve Dimitri of his duties later. Wink, wink.
Which seems to be enough for her to actually fall asleep.
Yeah.
And get
Okay.
uninterrupted sleep.
Yep. And then the chapter's over, and then she just has.
And then,
that's
and then the fucking book is over because she sleeps for days.
Yeah, she just becomes Sleeping Beauty and just becomes just
Oh my
fully
God.
conked out.
Because we know that she had like a mild concussion, so that is not necessarily plausible.
Right, that is true. Yeah. But she wakes up. She hears like the door closing, and she's like, "Holy shit! What the fuck was that?"
Relatable.
And yeah, and like the sun is kind of creeping in, so it's like, okay, she did actually sleep. It wasn't just like a very rude interruption immediately.
Right.
And we got Robert and Sydney, and Victor's gone, but he's in the bathroom, so it's chill.
It's so weird. Rose woke up and Sydney Sweeney is there. Robert Pattinson's there. She's in a weird world.
Yeah, it's a weird blunt rotation for sure.
Right?
And Rose is like, "Hey, do you still know about cars, Sydney Sweeney?" And she's like, "Of course I'm Sydney Sweeney. I know everything about cars and classic cars." And Rose is like, "Great, bet. Can we get some groceries up in here? Maybe also make sure their car engine is like fucky wucky. Like don't like slash their tires or anything, but maybe make something that's kind of inconvenient. That would be fun." Right. And this whole like scene of just like Sydney being like, "Okay, what do you want?" Like, what's the order? It's so good. Being like, "Okay, sugar would be great for everyone here. Obviously, coffee for Dimitri. Robert apparently loves Cheerios, which is
Apple cinnamon Cheerios?
The apple cinnamon Cheerios, which is just a fun Easter egg there.
I love that Spirit users run on apple cinnamon Cheerios.
Yeah.
It's good for the heart and good for the spirit.
Right. And then Sydney's like, "All right, this seems like a child's grocery list, but I will go get all these things for you. And maybe fuck up a car engine. Who knows? Bye, I guess."
Sounds great. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's all easy breezy, lemon squeezy,
Right.
until Rose goes in to check on Dimitri and Sonia.
Yeah.
And Dimitri's fine. That's not the problem.
Right.
Sonia, however, says Rose's name.
Mm-hmm.
Which means there's some recognition there. Not great, because that hadn't happened before when she was a Strigoi.
Right.
So not good. She's, Rose notices on her face fear, astonishment, and recognition.
Which, okay.
Not good.
Yeah. And she just kind of, similar to how Dimitri kind of was post the change, is just like kind of obviously in shock, but also a little depressed and just like reacquainting with the world in a very strange way, which is fun.
Yeah, Dimitri seems to be treating her like a, I don't know, like a fucking baby deer. Just like, all right, chill.
Right.
You're good. You got this. The problem, though, and the difference between them, which Victor had mentioned when we were reading last week, is that unlike Dimitri, Sonia chose this.
Right, yes.
But it's not like, well, from what we know anyways, like Christian's parents. And Rose says this here, which is that she was doing it because she thought that it would help the symptoms of her spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, hell yeah, I want to kill people. It was like, I'm in so much pain, I think this will help it go away, kind of thing. Which I think is I think that's different.
Right, yeah, totally. Of very, how it, what's the word? Like the compulsion or the need to like
right.
scratch the itch, right? Or like get rid of it.
Right.
And of like the darkness, tam.
Right.
Especially when you don't have a bond babe, like that's all your darkness now. Like it's all darkness. Like
yeah, that's, to me, that reads like the comparison that I can draw is it's a mental illness.
Right.
Sort of.
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
It's not the same as like, I want to kill people. Like that's, that's the equation that like people make in our society, which is that like, that's what mental illness does. And that's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, Rose tries to be like, that wasn't you. You were just trying to make this go away. That's valid. And Lissa deals with this all the time. She just uses medication now. And Sonia was like, wait a second, Lissa? I remember that bitch.
That's Alyssa?
Lissa, the one that we dealt with like dead birds with? And she was like, yeah, that one.
Those were the days. Those are fun times.
Those are good, traumatizing times.
Right. And this is when Rose kind of tries to pivot into like, backwards chair interrogation mode of like, hey, if you really want to help Lissa, we might need some information. And Dimitri like shuts it down. It's like, no.
Yeah, he squirts a water bottle at her.
Yeah.
It's just like, no.
Hey, we're not there yet. We need to be on a level. And
she needs some donuts first.
Right, yeah. And Rose is obviously very impatient and like the clock is ticking. Like these dudes aren't going to be here forever. And also like she can't like hurt us, so might as well just like get this shit going.
Right.
And then there's a very sad moment here where Sonia's like, can I go out and see my flowers? And apparently she's been like gardening and planting flowers forever, but especially when she was Strigoi.
She wants enrichment time.
Yeah, she has enrichment time in her enclosure. And dissimilar to what Rose assumes, which is like trying to find beauty or whatever in the darkness. It's more about like, Sonia at least says it's more about just being able to still do it, which is interesting. Of like the skill or like having something to do.
Right.
While also being in this like weird fugue state is interesting.
Yeah, I think that it wasn't until Sonia said like, it was just about testing my skills that Rose clicks that Dimitri was still reading Western novels when he was Strigoi. So it wasn't about goodness or morality. It was just that some of those old behaviors still continued.
Right.
When they were Strigoi.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. Anyways, this seems like a happy moment at first.
Right.
That, it's apparently the bluest sky you've ever seen. There's so many pretty flowers. So, like, Sydney comes back with the donuts. Like, it's the greatest moment you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But we know Ferrero. If it's the happiest, most beautiful thing you've ever seen, then you need to be very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because this was the part that made me very nervous, is Dimitri says that Sydney's turning into a battle mastermind. And Rose was like, hey, she's not in charge here. She's just a soldier. And this motherfucker brushes his fingers lightly across Rose's cheek and says, sorry, Captain. And she she's like, she catches her breath because she was not expecting that. And is like, I'm a general, actually.
This is so fucked up.
And then he says goodbye to Sonia because he's going to go in and it's his turn to rest now. Mm-hmm. And she's on watch. And now all hell breaks loose. Because we know Ferrero and that's how things go.
God. Like, they're eating these donuts. They're chilling. Everything's supposed to be just fun. Right. And also, Dimitri specifically was like, hey, let's not interrogate her right now.
Yeah.
We need time. And Sonia's
She's
taking
just
the
starting
tiniest
to, like,
baby bird
get comfortable outside of this room with people again.
Yeah, and feeling like a person and, like, not wanting to die. It's great. And then Rose is like, okay, but for real? And the way she launches this is hilarious. Like, I know we have bad interrogators on one side of this coin, but we also have it on this side of this coin with Rose.
Which is shocking. You would think that there would be at least a couple of classes at St. Vlad's about interrogation.
Sure. It seems like it comes up a lot.
Yeah, you would think as a guardian that would be a thing. But the model of previously with Strigoi is kill first, ask questions later. So I get fuck me, I guess.
Yeah. It's just like the amount of times these students have been either kidnapped or kidnapped others is pretty high, right? Like, I feel like talking your way out of something or getting information feels important.
It happens at least once a book. So
at least,
it's a critical skill.
Right. So this is how she launches this, right? She's like, hey, so is there perhaps a relative of yours who had a baby once?
What kind of fucking question is that, Rose?
Everyone, like, jaw on the floor, like, what the fuck was that? And Sonia's like, sure, I guess. I have people in my family who have had babies, for sure.
For context, audience who are not reading this with us, Rose just ate 3 donuts. Sonia has spent theoretically what feels like an hour going through half a donut. And now
she's been taking the tiniest baby bird bites.
Right, exactly. And is now watching a bee fly from a honeysuckle to a rose. Right? You cannot think of a more like fucking Thomas Kincaid kind of picture than is happening right now. So she asked this question, and Victor, snarky snark ass, is like, that was really articulate of you, Rose.
Yeah, good job. Really cool.
Yeah, good job.
I was like, okay. What if it was a secret baby? What if the baby wasn't supposed to be there? And what if perhaps you were a beneficiary on the bank account and perhaps maybe took care of this secret baby?
Jesus
and also
Christ, Rose.
Maybe Eric Dragomir was involved. And that's where it's like, okay, we have dropped the ball. We have lost all sense of the plot and where we're going here and any footholds in the argument. Because Sonia just, like, whips her head around it and it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bitch.
And apparently it's
like,
not her
lying.
Strigoi voice, but it's very much her, like, back the fuck off voice.
Right. I love too that Robert's like, she's lying. And Sydney's like, yeah, dude. Like,
still eating his apple cinnamon Cheerios. So, like, mouthful, he's like, she's lying.
I think she's full of shit. It's like, okay, thank you.
Thank you for the one-liner,
Robert. And so Rose is trying desperately to, like, undig this hole. And it's like, hey, it's like, it would be really important that we find this baby/child/person. And, you know, if you wanted to help Lissa, this would really help her. It'd be really cool of you. And Sonia's still like, I don't know anything. I'm chilling with these bees. Fuck out of here. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Victor tries to go aggro, which is also not helpful.
God damn it.
Because
this dude has no chill.
Yeah, nobody here has any chill. And the fact that they did this the second Dimitri left is fucked up, because, like, nobody knows how to handle the situation.
All he wanted, he said, keep the peace. I need a 30-minute quick nap. Just give me that. And they said,
can you guys behave
no.
for half an hour while I take a tiny little rest?
They were like, yeah,
Just
absolutely. We'll
donuts.
totally play cool. We won't get in a fight. And as soon as he closed the door, they were like, fuck you.
Instantly.
God.
But then we finally get, like, a crack. Some part of this actually works somehow. And Sonia says that she promised that she wouldn't tell anyone. So we're getting
She's
a little
lawful.
bit more. Right. And so now Rose is like, here's an in. Okay. But the way she responds to this is like, okay, we don't have to break your promise, I guess, but we could maybe ask
Bend?
the person you promised to see if it's okay that you tell us.
Right.
Which, okay, that's a line of questioning, sure. Why not? And Victor, pretty reasonably, is like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? And again, goes full aggro. It's like, just tell us who it is, fuck you, like, give us the info, blah, blah, blah. And realizing, too, that this time, he's using compulsion. Which, not great. Not good. Not a good look. And obviously, because Sonia is a fucking spirit user, she, like, feels that.
Right.
And knows it. Why would you fuck around like that? That's nuts.
This is, okay.
I don't know. We have seen spirit on spirit crime before, but this is like, these are, when we've seen it before, we've seen younger spirit users. These are older and more experienced spirit users.
These are seasoned users, yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
And so this is like terrifying.
Yeah.
Because when Sonia like immediately clocks it and immediately like breaks it, and it's legitimately scared me when she looks back at Robert and was like, how dare you try to compel me? Because one thing I've never seen before with a spirit user was she controlled the elements and started pulling these plants and vines around Robert to like wrap around his chair and like entangle in him. And it got bad fast.
Yeah.
'Cause now they're just fully fighting with each other using all of their powers, and everyone else is completely unable to do anything.
Right. Of course, Rose is now like, I gotta call Dimitri in here.
Right?
We fucked up. I fucked up. I didn't maintain the peace. God damn it. I need an adult figure here.
Right.
Like, help. Oh, God.
The only thing, I guess the only way that these two are able to continue using spirit against each other is with eye contact.
Right. Yeah.
And so Rose is trying to get Dimitri, but then also trying to have everyone stand in between each other. Because if you can break the eye contact, you can pretty much like stop what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
But poor Dimitri
Oh, my God.
has
He's
to
so
stop his
tired.
nap. I feel so bad
he's-
for him.
Yeah, and he's, like, talks to Rose, and it's like, I told you.
Right.
She was too weak. Like, we were not ready for this. And Rose is like, well, I was doing just fine, actually. It wasn't until, like, these, chuckle fucks got involved that it went off
Yep.
the rails. And it's like, that's really nice of you that you think you were doing a good job in holding down the fort, Rose. But I got bad news.
Especially because Dimitri's very much like, this set us back. Like, you should not have done this. And
right.
Rose is very much under the impression that this set us forward because she knows about Eric. And it's just about the fact that she promised not to say anything or tell anyone about the child.
Right.
But Sonia is still in the room. She's like, don't fucking talk about me like I'm not here. I did promise
Get
someone.
your name out of my fucking mouth.
And the only one right now that Sonia seems to be able to communicate with is Sydney. Because Sydney is also lawful. And she's like, we know. Like, it's okay to keep promises. Like, I totally get that. Sonia's like, okay, finally, someone understands me. But Sydney, I did not expect her to do this. Being like, okay, so listen. I totally get it. That's so valid. Thank you so much for keeping promises. Like, you're a real one. What if there was a way that you could help Lissa and you don't have to break your promise? Pinky swear, I got you. Sonia's like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll hear you out. So Sydney's like, all right, what was your promise?
Yeah.
Your promise was to not tell anyone that Eric had a mistress and a baby. And Sonia's like, yeah. And you also promised not to tell anyone who they were. And Sonia's like, yeah. Sydney's like, all right. So, did you promise not to tell anyone where they were? Did you promise not to lead anyone to where they were? And Sonia's like, no. So Sydney's like, okay, bet. So that's what we're going to do. You wouldn't be breaking your promise if you led us to them. You don't have to tell us where they actually are. You don't have to tell us who they are. Just lead us there.
Yeah.
And you won't be breaking your promise. And he was super helpless.
Sydney just doing boss moves right now. She is carrying this team.
And Rose comes in with the slam dunk.
Oh my god, yeah.
By saying that it would help Mikhail.
So evil, but so good.
Dropping this at the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely fucking launched a bomb.
Because of course, like, Sonia's mouth drops open. And says, like, you know him?
And Rose like, yeah, for sure, we're like friends. We're homies. You know, we hang out.
Yeah, like, we work together.
Yeah.
And Mikhail wants to help Lissa, but he can't. We don't have enough information. And Sonia at this point is crying. She's got tears running down her cheeks.
Yeah, because that's her babe. She's like, all right, fine. You got me. I'll lead you there. And Sydney's like, hell yeah, another road trip. Let's
road trip. And so
road trip. Fuck yeah.
Sydney, like fucking GTL. She's fist pumping right now. She's so excited.
Yeah. She's already in the front seat of the car. It's like, come on in, let's go. Get in.
This is wild. I just want to know what Ferro's fucking damage is. Because why does she end the chapter this way? Why does she have them standing so close to each other?
God, I hate them so much.
Why does she have to remind me that Rose is feeling intoxicated by Dimitri's body?
God.
Why did she say last chapter? Why did she have Rose last chapter say, refer to Adrian as her boyfriend and that she missed him? And now, for the second time in 2 chapters, Rose is intoxicated by Dimitri's body.
Fucked up.
I hate this. I hate this so much. Anyways, Rose has decided now that she is not Colonel. She's not General. She is Baby Driver.
She is the baby driver. Oh, so fucked up.
So now we're on another road trip, and I hope Victor and Ricky Bobby can stay in hell, which is Kentucky.
Yeah, sure.
So we on a road trip. So next week is 21-22, and I doubt that Sydney will let Rose drive, but I really want to see it.
Yeah. I'd like to see that like an interlude. Like an offshoot that's like, who's gonna rock, paper, scissors for shotgun.
Right. Yeah, I would love to see it happen. So, fingers crossed. We have some amazing patrons. Would you like to start us off?
Fuck yeah. Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh, thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Beep, beep, beep. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Katya Cart.
Ow. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Ooh, thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Beep, beep, beep. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Laura Forty.
Beep, beep, beep. Thank you to Dan Seklos.
Ooh, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Jaylene Ivashkov.
Ooh, and thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Pew, pew, pew.
I have a fan fiction for you today that was written by the author Hiccuped_Studio.
Okay.
It is titled Walk of Shame.
All right.
The summary is Rose has done the Walk of Shame twice now, and from the same apartment, but from two different men.
Okay.
And this involves Rose, Dimitri, and Adrian. And there are no chapters.
Love it.
Dimitri had been so lost in his wallowing, he forgot Adrian was visiting. His cousin refused to join Dimitri in his low mood and chose to check out the nightlife instead. Dimitri wasn't a fan of Adrian bringing random women home, especially when it wasn't even his place. A discussion Dimitri would have to have. The door to his floor was a welcome sight, knowing his bed and shower were only a few steps away. The elevator was closing as he emerged into the hall. The black dress clung to her form, though it looked out of place for 7 a.m. Black boots dangled from her fingers, the leather clutched like a lifeline. Panic was in her eyes, smudged makeup and faded red lips parted in surprise. Rose? Dimitri questioned. Was he seeing things? The elevator closed and she disappeared from sight. It was such a fleeting moment that Dimitri wondered if it was truly his imagination. He hesitated, deciding if he should run to the bottom floor just to confirm if it was her. But in the end, he convinced himself that it wasn't her. She didn't reply or stop when she saw him. It was probably someone else. It must have been someone else. Why would Rose come to see him? Dimitri dragged his hand down his face, wishing he could rid his mind of Rose, of his guilt. The barrage of what-ifs was torture. Adrian was already up when Dimitri entered the apartment, half asleep and half naked as he transferred wet sheets into the dryer. "Morning, cousin," Adrian greeted half-heartedly, a lazy wave of a hand. Dimitri raised an eyebrow, beelining for coffee before taking part in any conversation. He wanted to ask if the one-night stand was still around, but didn't really want to know. He also didn't want to think about why Adrian was washing the sheets. Adrian was drawn to the kitchen by the smell of coffee, with a hopeful look and a cup already in hand by the time Dimitri boiled the pot. He pulled a face, but compiled. "Are you going to bring people back to my apartment every night?" he asked, barely keeping the irritation from his tone. "Are you going to be moping every night?" Adrian shot back. Dimitri rolled his eyes, turning away from his cousin, only to freeze and frown. "Can't you keep it in your own room?" he complained. When Adrian cocked his head in confusion, Dimitri pointed at the black, lacy underwear on the floor by the washer and dryer. "Oh shit, it must have been in the sheets." Adrian wasn't concerned about them, while Dimitri was pissed. "Shouldn't you give them back to her?" "She already left." An icy feeling went down Dimitri's spine. "What?" His cousin sighed into his coffee. "She snuck out like 5 minutes ago. I'm glad, because I didn't know how to make her leave otherwise. It wasn't my plan to bring her back here. We were both drunk." Dimitri's stomach twisted. Flashes of Rose in the elevator made his heart stop. What was her name? "I don't know. Some kind of flower?" It felt like he had been kicked. The air left Dimitri's body and a pain shot through his chest. End scene.
Damn.
There
Lacy
is
black underwear.
I know. There is
Alright.
There's no chapters, but there is 6,000 words in this. So if you are interested in lots of story, that is there for you to enjoy.
Damn.
I know. Well, friends, please enjoy all of our happy things this week. I'm going to be honest with you. One of the other happy things that I almost brought this week was something I know you are also very excited for, which is the new D20 campaign. But I will save that for a different week.
Damn.
So please enjoy. We've got lots of good things. Tell your friends about the show. And until next week, as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.